Good day and welcome to NBP Hotseats. My name is Ibrahim Ababu from Nuclear Business Platform. Joining me today is Mr. Khalid Mediouri, who is the Director General of the Morocco National Center of Energy and Nuclear Science and Technology, CNESTEN. CNESTEN is a public research body in nuclear science and technology, providing services for the benefit of socioeconomic operators and providing technical support for public authorities in matters on nuclear and radiological safety and security internationally, and particularly in the African region. CNESTEN continues to play an important role by sharing its know-how, savoir-faire through training, expertise, and laboratory analysis. Welcome, Mr. Mediouri. We are delighted to have you with us today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for being with us. Firstly, congratulations on the CNESTEN, to the CNESTEN on receiving the distinction from the IAEA to be a collaborating center in the field of water resources, environmental protection, and industrial application. This is indeed a remarkable achievement and reflects the great work which CNESTEN is doing under your leadership. With no further ado, allow me to start by asking you to kindly share on the background of CNESTEN and its recent activities and achievements. Thank you very much.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for giving us this opportunity to share with you and your partners a brief overview on our institution, CNESTEN, main activities and achievements, in addition to the collaborative arrangements and the activities that you are undertaking in the African region. And it's also an occasion to talk about collaboration opportunities that exist in our region in the fields of nuclear science and technology. And as you have said in your introduction, the National Center for Nuclear Energy Science and Technology, CNESTEN, is a public institution. It was established in 1986 and has been assigned 4 main missions. First, to promote and develop nuclear science and technology applications in various social and economic sectors, and to undertake scientific research in this field. Second mission is to contribute, along other relevant national institutions, to the development of the required nuclear infrastructure for an eventual nuclear power program. Just to precise that Morocco has not decided yet if it will go forward with a nuclear power or not, but it's under study. So CNESTEN also acts as a technical support organization to the national authorities in the fields of radiological safety and security, and in emergency preparedness and response. It's also in charge of the management of radioactive waste generated at the national level. And for this purpose, CNESTEN has established in 2003 the Marmora Nuclear Research Center. It's the first nuclear installation of Morocco. The Marmora Nuclear Research Center is a multi-purpose nuclear facility, which includes a 2-megawatt power research reactor and several laboratories dedicated to the development of nuclear applications in the fields of health, water, agriculture, environment, industry, safety, security, and so on. And would like to underline that CNESTEN works closely with the relevant national stakeholders, including decision makers and users, research institutions and universities, in order to ensure a better contribution of nuclear applications to the development of these various socioeconomic sectors in a sustainable manner. So since its establishment, CNESTEN pays great attention to the development of its human resources. Currently, CNESTEN has about 250 staff members with the necessary competencies in different applications in nuclear science and technology. Would like to emphasize that all CNESTEN's activities are undertaken in accordance with the national legislative and regulatory framework in line with the international obligations and standards related to nuclear safety, security, and safeguards. So allow me to share with you some achievements in some particular socioeconomic sectors where nuclear science and technology is providing a valuable contribution. I will start with the health sector. So CNESTEN is playing a key role in supplying nuclear medicine centers with radiopharmaceuticals. And soon, in the few coming weeks, CNESTEN will start the local production of iodine-131 using the research reactor. And iodine-131 is one of the main radiopharmaceuticals used in nuclear medicine in Morocco. CNESTEN is also collaborating with the oncology centers and the research institutes through research projects aiming to develop advanced tools for cancer prevention, diagnosis, and treatment. CNESTEN also develops stable isotope applications to support national nutrition programs, aiming mainly to fight micronutrient deficiencies, as well as to prevent and control non-communicable diseases. Regarding the water sector, CNESTEN has developed a close partnership with the National Water Authority in the field of isotope hydrology, which became one of the essential tools in the assessment and management of water resources in Morocco. Over the last 20 years, the main aquifers of Morocco have been characterized using isotope methods. And these isotopic methods, they offer relevant information for policymakers to build sound strategies for a better management of water resources. Concerning the sector of agriculture, several nuclear techniques have been introduced to support national agricultural programs, and these techniques are being successfully applied, in particular to evaluate social degradation and assess the effectiveness of soil conservation strategies, as well as to improve water and fertilizers use efficiency. So CNESTEN also developed important capabilities in terms of nuclear applications with the relevant national stakeholders in many other sectors, such as environment, mines, geology, industry, and energy. Unfortunately, we don't have, time to elaborate on all these sectors. So maybe in another occasion, we can talk about these other sectors. So for a safe and secure utilization of nuclear science and the technology applications, CNESTEN has developed adequate capabilities in terms of radiation safety services to end users, mainly training, dosimetry, calibration of radiation measurement equipment, environment monitoring, radioactivity measurements, and radioactive waste management. Needless to say that for successful and sustainable contribution of nuclear science and technology to socioeconomic development, it's essential to dispose of the required qualified human resources. And for this purpose, CNESTEN is offering tailored academic and professional training programs in nuclear science and technology in close interaction with the universities and the other relevant national institutions. So these education and training programs cover several thematic areas, including radiopharmacy, medical physics, radiation protection, human nutrition, non-destructive testing in industry. CNESTEN also offers training on nuclear research, reactor operation, and utilization. This was a brief, overview on what CNESTEN is developing in terms of nuclear science and technology applications in the different social and economic sectors of our country.
Thank you very much. It's great to hear all the great achievements CNESTEN has already done, and the future seems really bright ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ababu. Thank you.
The second question would be about the IAEA, as I mentioned before, has designated CNESTEN as a collaborating center. Can you share briefly the background on how this collaboration with the IAEA has come about?
In early stages of its development, CNESTEN has shown a great interest to promote isotopic hydrology towards relevant stakeholders. And to this end, dedicated staff had been hired and trained alongside with setting up the necessary facilities and laboratories. And these capabilities have been progressively strengthened with the support of the International Atomic Energy Agency, mainly through procurement of some specific equipments, training of human resources, and involvement in some coordinated research activities. And as a result, the isotopic analysis laboratory of CNESTEN became fully operational in 1999. And based on these achievements, CNESTEN has succeeded to demonstrate to the decision makers the relevance and the usefulness of nuclear applications, and consequently, the isotope hydrology, as I have mentioned before, has been adopted as an essential tool in the assessment and the management of water resources in our country. And meanwhile, CNESTEN started to share the accumulated knowledge and experience at regional level, mainly through provision of training, technical expertise, as well as analytical services within the framework of IAEA and AFRA programs and activities. So here, if you allow me, I would like to say some words about AFRA. AFRA is the African Regional Cooperative Agreement for Research, Development and Training related to nuclear science and technology. AFRA is an intergovernmental agreement established by African member states to further strengthen and enlarge the contribution of nuclear science and technology to socio-economic development. The scope of AFRA activities covers a wide range of peaceful applications of nuclear techniques that contribute toward the achievement of national and regional development goals. Currently, there are 44 countries which are members of the AFRA agreement, and would like to mention that the IAEA provides valuable technical, scientific, and financial support to the implementation of AFRA programs. So having said that, I would like to mention that AFRA has recognized CNESTEN since 2010 as a regional designated center. It's a kind of regional center of excellence in the field of environmental isotope hydrology. So with regard to the IAEA, and based on this continuous and proven expertise, CNESTEN has been recognized as an international collaborating center in the field of water resources management for the period of 2015-2019. As a consequence, the activities of CNESTEN have been expanded at regional and international levels through undertaking advanced research activities, hosting many educational and training events, as well as providing regular expert missions and analytical measurements. So these achievements have led the IAEA and CNESTEN to proceed to the renewal of this recognition for the period of 2020-2024, and also to its extension to two other areas, namely environmental protection and industrial applications. And for these three areas, would like to underline that the planned activities covered by the signed agreement are part of CNESTEN's priority programs and fully fall within the national strategies for water, environment, and industry, as well as within the national strategy for scientific research.
Thank you very much. It's great to hear that. And you touched on my next question. What are the objectives of IAEA collaborating centers?
Well, in order to promote the practical use of nuclear techniques worldwide, the IAEA is establishing collaborative agreements with designated institutions around the world. These organizations assist the IAEA by undertaking original research and development and training activities relating to nuclear science and technology applications. So selection criteria include mainly the scientific and the technical standing of the institution, the prospective stability in terms of personnel, activities, and funding, as well as in terms of technical relevance of its activities to the IAEA's programmatic priorities. Currently, there are 46 IAEA collaborating centers across the world, covering many thematic areas related to the peaceful application of nuclear science and technology, and with the ultimate objective to help reach important targets of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you very much. And can you share with us why should African countries put more effort in developing radiation techniques?
Well, the relevance of nuclear science and technology applications has already been demonstrated in many socioeconomic areas through their sound and effective contribution in meeting various development needs. Indeed, the use of such techniques contributes directly to 9 out of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals in relation with energy, human health, food production, water management, environmental protection, climate change, mitigation, and the industry. And in this regard, African member states are very much aware of the usefulness of these techniques and have established a regional work plan for the period 2019-2023 and the AFRA program covering the thematic areas that I have just mentioned in order to define common development priorities and needs to be addressed through collective approaches. Indeed, the use of nuclear science and technology is essential, even vital in some areas in meeting the identified socioeconomic needs, and thus enabling the African community to significantly overcome the major burdens that affect its development and welfare. Therefore, African countries are joining their efforts to improve the access to healthcare through the development of nuclear medicine and radiotherapy capabilities, to increase agricultural productivity through the development of better crop varieties, improved soil fertility and irrigation management, also to enhance animal production and productivity, as well as to ensure, I would say, a greener industry, better environmental protection, and improved water availability and quality.
Yes, it is. And talking about African countries, how could they benefit from the expertise of CNESTEN?
There are many ways and means for partnership with African institutions, either through the IAEA and AFRA technical cooperation programs or through bilateral arrangements. In this regard, I would like to share with you that we regularly host fellowships and scientific visits, provide technical expertise and radiation safety services. We also perform laboratory measurements and equipment calibration, as well as organize regional and international educational programs and training courses, workshops, and conferences, including in this period of restrictive conditions related to the COVID-19 pandemic. With respect to human resources development, which is still, I would say, a major issue essential for the introduction and sustainability of nuclear technology in our region, I would like to underline that in partnership with national universities and other relevant professional institutions, CNESTEN is offering opportunities for master degree and PhD programs in different thematic areas of nuclear science and technology. And through these collaborative arrangements and activities, CNESTEN aims to share its knowledge and experience with African institutions, enabling them to reinforce their own self-reliance in using properly nuclear applications for socioeconomic development.
Thank you very much. And one last question is about CNESTEN has signed several international cooperation agreements in the field of nuclear energy. Can you highlight some of these agreements and their scope?
Beside the cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency and AFRA, CNESTEN has established collaborative arrangements with the other institutions at multilateral and bilateral levels. So these arrangements are established with universities and specialized research institutions and industrial companies from many countries, such as Argentina, Belgium, France, Hungary, Italy, Republic of Korea, Malaysia, Tunisia, Spain, Russia, the United States of America, and many others. So collaborative arrangements are also made at multilateral level, mainly with the Arab Atomic Energy Agency, European Commission, the Food and Agriculture Organization, UNICEF, and the World Health Organizations. So there is no doubt that both multilateral and bilateral cooperation have played and are still playing an important role in building our national capacity and strengthening the contribution of nuclear science and technology to different socio-economic sectors. So sharing experience and know-how on common fields of interest, strengthening our staff competencies, developing technical expertise, and undertaking advanced research activities are indeed the main objectives we are aiming to achieve with our partners.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mediouri, for being with us today on NBP Hot Seats. It has been fascinating and enlightening to learn of the great work with which CNESTEN is doing right now. And do you have any final words you want to conclude the interview with?
Well, I would like to take this opportunity to express our wish and availability to enlarge and develop our scientific and technical cooperation with all interested institutions at regional and international levels in order to further enhance the peaceful use of nuclear techniques to, I would say, mutually benefit from the available technological, scientific, and technical capabilities, and to facilitate the transfer of know-how. So thank you so much once again for giving us this opportunity to exchange with you on these important and relevant subjects. Thank you, Mr. Ababu.
Thank you once again. It's been a pleasure having you. Take care, have a great day, and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Bye-bye.